Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comic Book Burrito Extra Beef. My name's Darien, and this is
Landon.
Well, hold on.
You're
I gotta do this a different way now because I'm not used to having guests. Okay. All right. But this is my co-host Landon, and then we got a guest this week. You know him, you love him. He's been here like twice. Spillman, welcome back.
How's it going?
We're here to talk about something now you're not a fan of. I'm a moderate fan of, and Landon is a super fan of Marvel's Avengers.
Dang straight. Dang straight I am. All right.
We promised
clown
this.
Me all you want, but
we promised this on the normal show that we'd be doing an extra beef about this game because they announced that it is going to be ending come September. And so
Finally.
we thought, yeah, okay. But we thought, what better way to, I don't know, not really close out the game, but like sort of, we'll do kind of like a funeral thing, I guess, in September. But we're going to go through the history of the game from a build up to launch until now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we can go ahead and get right into that. Landon, you want to start us off?
Yeah. If Spillman doesn't spit on the grave, that's all I ask. Yes, I know, unfortunately. All right.
I picture, when you said that, here's what I pictured. The scene from Army of Darkness with Evil Ash's head in the hole. And instead of his head, the case for Avengers laying in the hole. And then you got something on your face, and then throw dirt all over the
yeah, you got bugs on your face. There you go. Buggy. Well, it is a buggy mess, though. I will admit that. Let's get started. Marvel Entertainment and Square Enix announced partnership and reveal announcement trailer. Then radio silence for 3 years. So it was rumored at the time that was announced that Square Enix and Marvel games have teamed up, and Square Enix is going to publish a couple of Marvel games. And on that same day, they released a YouTube video under the name Avengers Project, with a big reassemble campaign to get people excited and to see what this future so-called Avengers game was.
Yeah. Let me open up this article here. I'm going to read exactly. This is on the Eidos Montreal website and the article that they put out. It said Marvel Entertainment and Square Enix team up for a multi-year, multi-game creative partnership. They announced a new multi-year, multi-game licensing agreement to develop and publish original games based on beloved Marvel superheroes, beginning with the Avengers. This newly established partnership pairs the creative minds at Marvel and Square Enix for one of the most powerful alliances in interactive entertainment. The first blockbuster game is being crafted by Crystal Dynamics, developers of the award-winning Tomb Raider series, in collaboration with Eidos Montreal, the home of the critically acclaimed and award-winning Deus Ex game series.
I've never played a Deus Ex game, so I'm not too sure if that series is good. But
you're missing out.
So I've been told. I've played a bit of Tomb Raider, and I enjoy. I enjoyed it. I'm just more of a Uncharted fan.
Now, with this multi-game thing that we got, it only turned out to be Avengers and Guardians, right?
Yes. So far as I don't know if there is another one in the pipeline. I can't imagine there is, but so far, yes, this is what it looks like that those two were to be.
Yeah. This is the Avengers project is being designed for gamers worldwide and will be packed with all the characters, environments, and iconic moments that have thrilled longtime fans of the franchise. Featuring a completely original story, it will introduce a universe gamers can play in for years to come. More details on the Avengers project and other games will be announced in 2018.
Yeah, I remember being really excited about that too because Crystal Dynamics was making it. And they made one of my favorite games of all time, the Soul Reaver series. Yeah. So that series was awesome. So I was really excited about them doing a Marvel project. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong, was it Crystal Dynamics or Eidos Montreal? Because I feel like they worked on the Arkham Asylum game. Am I missing? Am I wrong on that? I swear one of them worked on it.
Eidos Montreal might be who you're thinking about, but I don't think they did.
I thought they worked. I swear.
Yeah,
they
Montreal. They worked on the. It was one of the
Eidos Interactive worked on Arkham Asylum.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, oh, that's right, because they originally published it before they were bought out by Square Enix. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I was like, because maybe I had a bit of history with superhero games, so kind of made sense. But okay, I see.
Yeah, they put out that whole reveal and the announcement trailer, and then that was in 2017, and then there was silence for 3 years.
Yeah, there was nothing for 2018. I don't know what they were talking about.
Yeah. And then come to 2019.
One of the best. I'd say. It was one of the best E3s for Square Enix, definitely, due to FF7 remake and this game. Those two were like the big showpieces of that year for Square.
Yeah, and that's where we kick off here with the first reveal trailer, which was called A-Day. It happened at E3 2019. This is where the bulk of the information for this game came out, and this is where everyone started to get excited because the way they described it seemed like a completely different game than what eventually came. Which was that this is the way it goes here. Sean Eskeggs, creative director of Crystal Dynamics, and Bill Roseman, creative director of Marvel Games, showed up to E3 2019 to reveal a trailer for the game that consisted of no gameplay, but gave a sense of the story. Scott Amos and Megan Marie came on stage to reveal the post-launch content of the game as well, revealing that all new characters and locations will be free for all players. This is where I think their first major issue is. I don't think they should have done that.
Again, I'm not trying to sound fanboyish here, but like I think the character, I'm in the middle of, they should have made the characters free, but like all like the big expansions that should have cost like story and all that should have cost money. You know what I'm saying? Like $15, you got like or like $20, you got the new story, the new biome. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I think they should have done. But I think characters should have been entirely free. Spillman, what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, after playing the game and all that, I just thought they should have used the free-to-play model for it. Because that's the way it felt to me.
Oh, yeah, no.
Everything should have been free. And then they could have made their money on the back end with cosmetics and battle pass, whatever, you know. So.
It confuses me to this day why this game was never on. I mean, it was never on PS Plus. It was through like the premium or the extra tier, but not like, hey, the PS Plus game of the month is Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, it was on PS Now at one point.
It was on PS Now at one point, which then it merged to PS Plus Extra. So more people got to play it. I'm like, nah, like, you know, put it on premium or put it on regular for the month so many people can download it and do that. I mean, I don't know.
Sure, and I think it would have had a much larger appeal and reach if they would have used a free to play model of some kind.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, having the cost up front and then having to pay for additional content too, I think turned a lot of people away.
I know they didn't they have a free weekend once in a while? It was very rare, but they had like a free weekend. Like you didn't even need PS Plus. I mean, you needed to like play online, but it'd be like, free weekend, play multiplayer.
Yeah, they did that a few times.
I remember those being like really successful, and I don't know, they just didn't go for it.
Yeah, the game was way too expensive for what it turned out to be. It definitely should have been a $20 game when it dropped the quality.
Yeah.
But let me continue on here. They revealed the post-launch content that all new characters and locations will be free for all players. There will be no loot boxes, and the only buyable items will be credits for in-game cosmetics. They showed a small in-game clip of Hank Pym shrinking an Amorbot and the reveal of a May 15th, 2020 release date. They also revealed the cast, which consisted of Nolan North as Tony Stark or Iron Man, Troy Baker as Bruce Banner / the Hulk, Jeff Shine as Steve Rogers / Captain America, Travis Willingham as Thor Odinson, and Laura Bailey as Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. First off, Captain America, Chris Redfield.
Yeah, I mean, this was a pretty big cast. Like every one of these people are pretty big names. You know, especially Troy, Nolan, and Laura Bailey. They are in. You, I mean, I guarantee you played a game that they're in. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and like I said, Jeff Shine, he does the voice of Chris Redfield and at least Resident Evil 7 and 8. What about any others?
Yeah,
I don't know what else he's in. Travis Willingham usually does the voice of Thor in like pretty much everything, as far as I know.
And I think that, I mean, like you said, it's a really good cast. And what this seemed like when they revealed all this was that the game, everyone was excited for the game. I rewatched the panel that they did at E3. You should have heard the people cheering for this game. I've never heard that much excitement for this game.
It's been a minute.
I could name some other times, so there was more excitement.
That's true. Final Fantasy VII had the
yeah.
Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm saying for this game though.
Definitely for this game specifically, yeah. But I mean, you could make the argument though. People were there watching the Square Enix for FF7 and this game. I will agree with that statement. And that's, I mean, they knew it too because they put it at the very end. FF7 in front, Avengers at the end.
I had to suffer through 500 Final Fantasy trailers,
and it was all worth it.
And it was like four mobile games and 2 remakes. I don't know. It was like
a bunch of ports, remaster. Oh, it was perfect. Every last detail.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Okay. And yeah, next up though.
Gameplay reveal. So 2 months later, on August 20th, 2019, we finally got our first gameplay reveal trailer, which was mostly positive reaction, with some people were skeptic due to the fact they kept it hidden from the public for a hot minute. But it was mostly positive due to all the characters looking fun to play, and A-Day mission looked very action-packed, and everyone was looking forward to more. Yeah, I mean, it just felt like what they were doing with Spider-Man of having, it's like Uncharted, but with superheroes, having these big action set pieces, and it just, and you know, I was under the impression like, obviously, like not every mission was going to be like that, but like the story was going to be like that. The story missions, it's going to have these big, you know, it's going to be linear, but it's going to have these cool set pieces where you're switching heroes constantly, and it's like, you know, playing a movie almost. But you know, once it was revealed, you know, once the game came out, everybody saw that, oh, it's only like the first 3 missions and the very last mission and a few here and there that are like very linear, while the rest are like what the multiplayer is like, with it being open and all that, which got boring after a while. I think I was pretty lackluster for the story mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think my first thought when I saw the gameplay, now this is before I got hands on and got to play it. When I was like, first thing you see is you get like Thor fighting, right? You see that little thing. Yeah. When I first watched it, my immediate thought was like, oh, it's like Marvel, but like kind of like the Batman Arkham games, but Marvel. Yeah. That was my very first thought, but I was completely dead wrong.
Oh yeah, dead wrong.
Well, I mean,
badly.
I'll say that when I finally saw gameplay, I was pretty skeptic of the game. The one thing that stood out to me is I thought the character designs were horrendous.
Are you talking about like with the face models? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, the face models and the costumes, I thought they look like Wish.com versions of MCU characters.
Yeah,
I was really turned off by the way they looked, and
they did end up fixing.
They fixed. I know they fixed Black Widow.
I know they fixed Thor. Them, but that initial trailer.
Oh, yeah, first impression.
I was real turned off by how stiff the facial animation was. How they couldn't. It was like they tried to mix the comic book version of each character and the MCU version in the costume design.
Yeah,
and it just came off as looking real cheesy, in my opinion. And that's when I started to really kind of be skeptical of how this was going to turn out.
Yeah.
The supervillain origin of Spillman.
I was, again, here's a super fan of me. I was in the minority of, because I was getting sick of people like wanting, like, why can't they just make it look like the actors? And I'm just like, they're not going to pay, and Lord knows how much money to use Robert Downey Jr.'s face for Iron Man, Chris Evans, you know what I'm saying? But I know that's not what you're wanting, but you just think they could use better models and all that, and I get that.
Well, no, I understand that. I mean, that's going to be a lot of money to shell out, and they're doing their own original story, and I understand that too.
Just wish it looked
just
better.
The art direction
I get it.
Was not good in my opinion.
No. I perfectly agree. I would make because I loved all the outfits, but I do wish they were brighter color usage because it looked just very more darker than it should be. Because people weren't liking Captain America's outfit, and I loved it. I thought I was really into the outfit. I just wish it was brighter colors and everything. Their suits was just dark and it stand out like, as it should. But no, I get what you mean with like the art direction. I get that.
The one that stood out to me was Thor. It's like he was wearing, like, the front of his costume was just this metal cylinder.
Yeah.
It just looked ridiculous. I like Captain America because it looked like he was wearing like the Captain America suit from the original movie, the first movie.
Yeah.
The one that was leather, because I like that costume. But Thor was the one that stood out to me. I just like shook my head. I was like, I can't believe they're making Thor look like this.
Yeah. It does look a bit odd. I am looking at photos right now. It is a bit, I'd say that is probably the weakest one out of all of them. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it,
But coming off of that, and let's see, 5 months later, January 14th, 2020, the announcement came that Square Enix has delayed Marvel's Avengers until September 4th, 2020, 4 months after the initial release date of the game, due to them wanting more time to, quote, polish the game.
Lol. Yeah, it was polished, all right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's good. I'm glad they delayed it to polish it more, but
did they really?
Let's be. I'm gonna be honest here. This should have been a next gen game, completely. I think. I think this game would have received better reviews, and it would have performed better if it was like a day one next gen title. And I'm just gonna put that out there.
I don't know because it's like I don't know how much a next gen upgrade would have fixed the core gameplay.
Not for gameplay wise, but like no. Well, gameplay wise, no, but like if they they weren't going to do last gen titles, they would have had more time to work on it due to the next gen consoles not being out yet, which would have because the bugs. I mean, obviously there's going to be a couple bugs at launch. I mean, that's with every game, but I mean, if they had more time to polish it, I think the reviews would have been less harsh if it was buggy. I mean, gameplay and all that. I mean, I don't know if you could really turn that around, or you can't. But with I don't know. I just think if they had more time to polish and just made it next gen exclusive, I think it would have been more clean to play bug wise. I mean,
yeah, probably so.
Yeah. See what's next up here. Coming, it's probably about 5 months after the delay happened. We got our first war table. This is on June 24th, 2020. Showcased more story elements as well as confirming MODOK and AIM to be the ultimate villains of the game, which would eventually make us want to cry.
That was a big. Well, here's the thing. I like MODOK and AIM being the main villains, but
it's too much.
Not of the entire 3 years I've been playing this thing. Lord,
like every mission was like, oh, this is really gonna put a dent in AIM's resources, and I'm like, you say that every time, and it's been 3 years.
Every time. every for 3 years, you've been telling me we're close to taking down AIM, and then they finally have that.
Now it's I guess they've given up, right? They're closing up shop. They can't take out AIM.
Yeah, I know. I would have given up too, man. I'm like, all right. This for 3 years, took down Abomination Taskmaster.
Every mission that they put out where they're like, this is the end of AIM. This is it. It's not. Mm-hmm. It's just the end of one part of AIM.
Like, don't get me started on. I mean, we'll get into cloning labs here in a minute, but it's like, yeah, this is where you finally take down MODOK once and for all, and he just like passes out in a chair. That's all that happens. It's like, you beat him. I was like, did we though?
MODOK sugar crashed. Oh no.
That's what happened.
Give him a cookie.
Give him a cookie.
I think that thing this game should have done. This was my dream for the game. I was like, I want aim, sure. For the first year, why not?
Yeah.
Second year, bring in Hydra. I want to fight Red Skull. I want to fight Arnim Zola. Something like that.
Yeah.
Bring in like they can bring in all these different like groups of people. Like heck, you could even do the Atlanteans if you wanted to, and you have Namor show up.
And then like third year, have the Kree show up. I mean, like something they were building up for 3 years. That's not going to happen now.
Yeah, there's just so many. I wish I knew what was going on behind the scenes to know like what their mindset was in doing this game.
I'll be honest. I think a lot of it has to do with Square. Because here's the thing. Well, all this was looking good at first, but it's like it feels like as soon as the game launched for the first, I say right after the Kate DLC, that's when Square was like, we're giving up because I swear they just want it to be like Fortnite, where it's just like a smash hit from the get go, or whatever, and it's just like, okay, cool, we're going to ride easy from now on. It's like that's not how. It's not rocket science. It's you gotta literally work hard for like. I'd say you gotta work hard for the first year and a half to get stuff going good for players to do. Then you kind of ride easy doing cosmetics, and then having. You know what I'm saying? You got to work on that stuff. It's crazy. Yeah,
I think Square saw the writing on the wall.
Oh yeah,
I think they were like, all right, we just invested however many tens of millions of dollars in this game, and I think it happened. I think it kind of paralleled what Bungie found out with Destiny. When they had their roadmap for Destiny 1, and they just could not keep up with it, the demands of that roadmap. I think that's what happened with Crystal Dynamics. They said they found out that it was a lot more involved than they had originally planned.
Which is it's kind of, you might be really right with that, because look how many other live service games came out around Avengers, like later, like Babylon's Fall, and that was out for less than a year, and that thing's shutting down, and and what's the other one? There was another Outriders Republic or whatever.
Outriders, yeah.
That shut down the first year. So
yeah,
it's crazy. It's insane.
All right. They also revealed more on how combat works as well as heroics. First look at the skill trees for the heroes, a showcase of outfits, both original and comic inspired, and a deep dive into co-op and war zones, as well as some gear info. I think the outfits are the best thing this game did.
Yeah. Well, I'd say at launch they were good, but then like at some point it was just like simple recolors, and everyone really wanted like comic skins or MCU. Everyone was really wanting MCU skins. That was the big thing. Yeah. And I don't blame them. Everybody wants MCU skins and they wanted comic skins, but later on, like once, I'm trying to see, I'd say once they started doing MCU skins and really doing comic skins, that's when they were getting like really good. Like recently, man, they were like hitting the ballpark, like each.
They're trying to
week.
Butter us up before they got back and shot us in the head.
So. Yeah. Here, spend a 20 real quick. Spend a 20 real quick.
Yeah, it was at this point too where I really, I mentioned Destiny just a little bit ago. This is where I really was like, they're trying to emulate Destiny with this game.
Yeah.
That's what it came off as. And, we hadn't talked about the game dropping or anything yet, but I think that was the impression I got. They're trying to, move in on the live service audience that Destiny has kind of held there for a little while. So,
yeah. And I never played a live service game in my life at this point. I played Fortnite. That was it. I never played Destiny. I never played, there's another one. I can't think of it at the moment, but I never looked into this stuff. And so this game was like, oh, this is perfect for me because I'm going to follow everything they do. I mean, I did. I was following weekly, daily, just like, okay, like what's the new thing? What do I have to look forward to? And it was usually 9 times out of 10, it was probably disappointment. But I mean, I was like, generally excited, like, oh, dude, okay, MODOK, AIM, okay, that's cool. Skill trees, I love those. War zones, I get to, go around this open field just fighting people constantly. I mean, it sounds great because they kind of advertised of what patrol mode was supposed to be. But of course, as we know now, patrol mode is not happening. So there's a lot of things.
Mode, for those who don't know, it was a mode that they've been working on for a really long time, and it never will see the light of day. But it was where it was just a vast open area, and you can go and you'll have an encounter with a villain here, and you'll have a little boss battle, and you have another one over here, and you fight. It's like all this different stuff happening and just patrolling. It
was like, and they were going to do that with join in progress, where anybody could just join in at any time with you. It sounded great, and here's a lot of stuff they were going to bring out at launch that just never came, such as Cloning Lab. That was supposed to come out around launch time, but as you see now, that came out 2 years later. I mean, almost 3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the huge, like almost 3 year delay was almost unacceptable for what it ended up being, which we'll talk about later.
Oh yeah,
like completely unacceptable.
Yeah. It was garbage. It was probably the worst mission in the game.
Yeah,
I'll stand by that.
Yeah. Next up, though, is the July War table.
Yeah, I'll speak on this one. On July 19th, 2020, we got our second War table for Marvel's Avengers, showing off more gameplay and explaining what you'll be doing in the beta, like being able to play the first 3 missions of the game, story mode, I mean. And you have a couple of war zones and missions with access to only 4 characters, such as Iron Man, Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Black Widow. At the time, they were being very secretive about Captain America being dead. They weren't showing off Cap stuff at all, and I know that really upset a lot of players because people that want to be Cap mains, they ain't seeing no Cap gameplay. You know what I'm saying? They show a bit, and everyone knew he was playing on the game because you pre-ordered it or you got the deluxe edition. There's a Cap skin in there. It's like, okay, so he's in the game. Thor wasn't playable, but they weren't hiding him along. So anyways, along with the introduction of harm rooms, which test out your abilities to train to be the best Avenger, and along with the big bombshell with the reveal of our first DLC character for Marvel's Avengers, Hawkeye was shown off in a cinematic trailer for the game, getting fans more excited for the future of the game. People were excited for Hawkeye. That was a big thing because everybody was looking forward to Hawkeye because we didn't see him in A-Day, and everyone was like,
yeah, at the E3 2019, when the crowd didn't see Hawkeye, they were chanting, "Where's Hawkeye?" at the end of it.
And, devs are laughing.
And they laughed.
They're laughing. Like, look at these nerds want Hawkeye. But no, they knew. They were working on Hawkeye, and they knew. There was. Correct me if I'm wrong, Darren. You watching that thing? Didn't they say that heroes were going to be released monthly or something like that, every 2 months, 3 months or so?
They said they will be released regularly, and take that as you will.
Define regularly.
Exactly.
Once a year.
That's what it ended up being. Yes.
I'm trying to think the biggest year it was.
I assume it would be every 4 months, or every 3-4 months, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think they just bit off more than they could chew with that whole.
Now that we're discussing all this, that's the theme. That is the theme for this game. Promises made, hardly any of them are kept.
Exactly.
Xbox.
It had all this potential, and then they just consistently failed to meet the goals that they had set.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers is like a metaphor for Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. Where's Phil Spencer at?
For Microsoft itself.
Was he behind this game? Where's Phil Spencer?
Oh no, Peter Molyneux, right?
Oh yeah, it was Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of Xbox and PlayStation, fighting each other. Mm-hmm. August 3rd, 2020, PlayStation released a blog about Marvel's Avengers showing that Spider-Man is coming to the game exclusively PlayStation consoles in 2021, leaving fans very mixed on this choice due to how big of a character Spider-Man is.
Xbox didn't get to play with Spider-Man for for years.
They were enraged.
Oh yeah, people. I mean, I know some people stopped playing the game because of it. I know. Some people were boycotting it now.
It was for no reason because Spider-Man is a really terrible character to play as.
I mean, shut up. Here's the thing. I play on play. We all three of us play on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And when I was all like, awesome. But there was a part of me, I was like, it's kind of scummy with it being like a live service game. You know what I'm saying? Kind of holding off like a big thing, like a character.
Yeah, and Spider-Man's not necessarily an Avenger anyway. Like he was in the movies, but like normally he's on his own doing stuff.
Yeah. He's never. I know in comics they try to push him to be one, but he's not an Avenger. He is because he kind of he likes doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And
so I think they were capitalizing maybe on the idea of what was going on at the time. I guess because you're right, before this it was Endgame and Infinity War was the year before that, and I guess because Spider-Man was in those movies, and they were like, oh, Spider-Man's going to join our Avengers team now. But because of the whole deal with Sony and owning Spider-Man, it's only for PlayStation, and it's just
so there is that was confirmed that it was related to the Sony deal. Sony there was no other Spider-Man that they could have implemented.
Yeah,
they own everything Spider-Man. So
for gaming. That's only for movies. For gaming, Sony just made a deal with Marvel doing that.
I thought it was.
But I mean, I think with no, it's different. Sony just has the movie rights.
Gotcha.
But I'm willing to bet with that relationship with the movie rights, got it more. It's more of a closer relationship.
That probably opened some doors for him for sure.
And I'm not against exclusive content for consoles and all that. But I feel like there's a limit here when it's like a whole playable character.
It was a little unfair also because at that E3 in 2019, they announced that PlayStation would be getting free stuff every month through PS Plus.
That didn't happen. I mean, it did, but it was every
like
what
4 months. It felt
it felt like every 6 months because we only got
sometimes get a little
we only got 3 of them.
What were in those free drops?
It was usually pretty good. It was first one was Kate Bishop. It was like a Kate Bishop skin with units and a nameplate, I believe. So I mean, pretty decent cosmetic stuff for just being part of PS Plus.
So you got to play as a different color Kate Bishop.
Yeah, it was it was a different. Yeah, the first one was that one was kind of bad. It was a recolor, but no, whatever. It actually looked better than her regular outfit because it was like a brighter color. It looked nicer actually. Next one was a Hawkeye recolor, but that was kind of worse because it was like a red color, and same thing with the nameplate and units. And I believe the final one, correct me if I'm missing one, Darien, but I believe the final one was the Avengers movie Thor outfit. It was an MCU outfit, which that was probably the best one.
Let me look. Okay.
No, I remember. Okay, so there is 2 more. Black Panther had one. Black Panther had a skin. It was just a skin. There was nothing else. And Spider-Man had one.
Yeah, I see the Hawkeye one you were talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why I stopped playing because we didn't get a content drop to change the color of Hulk's shorts.
Yeah. We never got one for Hulk. It sucked because it wasn't monthly. It was which is good. I mean, I'm glad they did one for every new hero that came up, but them promising
they're going for Spider-Man too.
Yeah, they got one for Spider-Man. It was like that red one with the black
and then
eyes.
The Thor one was
the last one.
Yeah, let's see there's the Black Panther, there's a Miss Marvel.
Oh, was there a Miss Marvel one?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't remember that one.
And I think that's it.
That might have been when the game launched, honestly.
They ever come out with a fat Thor?
No, skin? They never did. They never came out with a Big Lebowski Thor skin. They never did.
The best skin they put out in the game was the cel-shaded Captain America skin.
Dang straight. That was the best one. Which it makes me mad because I'll never do
the whole comic book set.
I wanted the whole comic book set. I want to totally dig that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Spider-Man coming to Avengers, very divided the fan base and boycotted it. Probably should announce it after people bought the game.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Because we didn't hear nothing about this until way later. Until like late 2021.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then next up though.
Beta time.
Yeah.
I'll let you start with this one.
Oh, you want me to I was gonna let you read this because I read the last one.
Oh, did you read it? Oh, yeah, I did. My bad. Okay. Beta time. The beta for the game released 1 week early for people on PS4 who pre-ordered the game on August 7th, and for everyone who pre-ordered on August 14th. The open beta started from August 21st to August 23rd. The beta consisted of the A-Day mission, a section where Kamala Khan and Bruce Banner are hunting for Jarvis, as well as a vault mission featuring Nick Fury, where there were a couple drop zones available to play and tons of bugs, including multiple bugs that cause crashes and many other issues. So this is the public's first hands-on of the game, and it did not go that well.
I can remember playing it and being thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah, it's like, ooh. Well, here's the thing.
I remember playing it.
The eight, y'all have to admit though, the A-Day mission was awesome. Like that, I feel like that was a good start. But then,
it was a great opening, but it's like everything faltered after that.
Yeah, after that, because it's like the next two missions with Kamala and Bruce getting Jarvis, that started going down. It's like, it's not as good as A-Day, but you're gonna have missions like that. And then once the vault missions start, this is what I was talking about with the missions that are, this is what the game actually is, where it's that open world, you're holding down this thing. That's what it is. It sucks.
Yeah, it never reached back to the quality of the first mission.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the last one, the very last mission, but A-Day mission will always be the best because it was cool, man. Because you get switching back and forth and all that, and not to mention you didn't get to play as Captain America until like the last 3 missions.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Cap players, man, because that sucks.
And they had him in space.
I mean, which is, have him frozen again. Like, dang, man.
One mission I really did enjoy though in the game is when Tony Stark, we first go get him, and he's got his homemade Iron Man suit.
Oh yeah, in the mansion. Yeah, that was a good mission. I remember that one. I'm trying to remember. There's another one that was good. I mean, I'd say you as Kamala, running around through New Jersey or whatever.
That was decent. Or being chased by the Hulk in the helicarrier.
Yeah, those were cool.
I just think them making us play as Kamala Khan is not the greatest choice because not many people are interested in her character.
Mm-hmm. You said it. That's what I was going to bring up too.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's the classic MCU bait and switch. I want to play an Avengers game. Oh no, we're going to make you play as Kamala Khan.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't hate Miss Marvel.
I want to play as one of the Avengers.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Game.
Yeah, I agree. I don't hate Miss Marvel one bit. I enjoy her character and all that. And I think it's a pretty cool having some. A person that's fan of the Avengers trying to bring them back together. That's a cool idea for a story.
I did not want to play as an Avengers game and have to play as a 13-year-old fangirl of the Avengers. That's not what I pictured an Avengers game to be.
Yeah. I mean, no, I get it. Yeah.
The beta, like we said, though, the beta, it just didn't do it for people. I remember playing it. Came out in the summer. School hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
And so I was in my bedroom, right up under my TV. I was so excited. I was like, Marvel's Avengers. So I could play the beta. Yeah. Played it, and no reaction. So that's I was like, wow.
Just sitting there, just dead. Well, here's I remember I played all 3 beta things. I remember
not liking how Hulk felt also.
Yeah, I remember him feeling I know he's a tank character and those are usually pretty slow, but I was kind of hoping they would do more of an Hulk Ultimate Destruction type of approach.
Yeah. Yep.
Where he was kind of slow, but then you could do like a good run and then like do elbow drops off skyscrapers and all that. Because you see him in the gameplay, him jumping on the side of a truck and jumping off and smashing. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll do it on the side of a building and do an elbow drop, or what I'm saying, I was hoping they took inspiration from that, but no, you don't.
That's another game that I wish they would remaster or remake.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, there's not a better Hulk game out there than that one.
Yeah. Or, Sega's movie licensed Incredible Hulk game. That was.
Oh, jeez.
That game was. Whew.
I had that game. I bought that game. I was excited for that game.
What happened?
Then I just punched Hulk dogs for 5 hours.
Oh, yeah, the name. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I do have Hulk Dog. Oh, yeah, I got that. I mean, I got all those games. That's it. That's going to be my next.
That's my first time of 2023 saying Hulk Dogs, except I don't have my Echo because I don't have my.
I'm guessing that game came out before the movie, Spillman, because you would have. I think if you saw the movie, you wouldn't have bought the game. I feel like. Or maybe, or do you like the movie? Or do you like the movie and you say you bought the game?
I mean,
talking to a man who
back in the day, that was the only Hulk movie that. I mean, it was the first one, right? That big budget Hulk movie, at least.
Yeah.
So I was kind of impressed with it at the time, but going back and watching it now, I'm like. My opinion has changed, of course.
That's how you should feel about Spawn as well.
You're looking at plants.
No.
Spawn is a thing of the time, John.
Spawn is a period piece. All right, it's timeless. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, the CGI is so definitely timeless.
Yeah. That Kate. Okay.
Okay. But next up now is something. There were 3 data leaks with this game before it came out and right when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them actually leaked your IP address.
Oh, how great.
And another one revealed 15 DLC characters that they have plans to make. And I'm going to run through those real quick. Those 15 being Ant-Man, Vision, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Falcon, Marvel, Mockingbird, Quake, Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, Kate Bishop, She-Hulk, and War Machine.
Only 4 of those happen.
Literally 4 of them happen.
I would kill for a Vision.
Only the palette swaps happen.
Yeah, only the palette. Yeah, pretty much.
And they were almost all. They were just. I think if Ant-Man would have been in the game, Doctor Strange, Vision. Scarlet Witch, War Machine, Vision, that would have been so awesome. Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish they would have brought in some characters outside of that core Avengers group too. I know they were trying to cross promote with the new MCU shows and things like that, but some crazier characters I think would have helped out a lot too.
Yeah. Like, I mean, imagine Vision, like, like doing his instinct, like his R2, and he like phases, like if an enemy punches you, you hold your R2 and he puts his like hand through you and then you let go and he just wreck them. Like, I mean, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't like, there's so much there.
There's so much stuff they could have done. And they were working on multiple characters, some that weren't even on this list, which we'll get into later, that were going to come out very soon, but that's not going to see the light of day either. But I just think, I was so excited when I read that list. I was like, oh man, I get to play some of these characters are awesome. But we only got, like you said, 1, 2, 3. Actually, only 3 of this list we got.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, is it really only 3? Wow. Yeah. So that's really disappointing. Really disappointing. I don't mean to laugh because it's tragic. It really is. Lord.
Yeah, but that happened. That was a data leak. I don't know what the 3rd data leak is. I couldn't find anything on that. But I assume it was just some leaks stuff for the.
They leaked your credit card number and your address too.
Social security.
I remember the IP one. I like stayed off the game until they patched that. I was like, yeah, I'm not having that happen.
Here, let me check it out real quick.
I want to say it had something to do with like a mission. That's what I want to say it was.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's mission stuff.
Yeah, talking about patrol mode possibly.
Yeah.
You want to get into the Kate Bishop taking aim?
Yeah, first DLC.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Kate Bishop taking aim. The trailer was released revealing the first new character to join the roster, Kate Bishop. Her story was the focus to try to find Clint/Hawkeye, who was working for AIM, trying to find out more information about a Kree war in the future. Kate Bishop was voiced by Ashley Birch. She released on December 8, 2020, and was moderately received. Yeah, I know when she released, people were like, it's okay. Story short, but Kate's okay.
They wanted Hawkeye.
Everybody wanted Hawkeye.
And we got Hawkeye, but I think a bad thing too was like the first two DLC characters were the exact same character basically, with a minor change.
Kind of leaves a bad taste in the mouth. It's like, whoa, like
what is
hold
this?
Up. We just It's like we basically just so hold up. So Kate launched in December, Avengers launched in September, so October, November, so 3 months go by. Okay, I got Hawkeye. Okay, I got Kate. I got like a Hawkeye character. Okay. January, February, about 2 months after that, I get Hawkeye again. Cool. Yeah. It's just it kind of leaves a bad taste. It's like I just got the same character twice, pretty much. Like I think they should have done Hawkeye, Black Panther, then Kate. Mm-hmm. But
and you got also another big voice actor. I mean, showing up in this. Ashley Birch voiced Aloy in the Horizon games,
mm-hmm.
and I mean, I'm sure she's done other stuff that I'm not too
aware of.
Yeah. I'm not too aware of. Let's see what else she's done, if anything.
Spillman, did you play this DLC?
No.
Okay. Okay, great thought.
You guys already know what I think about the Kate Bishop show co-starring Hawkeye. And then after I saw she's being added to the game, honestly, I was like, I'm not even playing that because I don't like the character.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah. I mean, I thought her whole teleportation ability was actually like a cool addition to the game. I thought, pretty cool, like a brand new traversal type of thing, and maybe it could be implemented into something else. I don't know what exactly, but something.
Ashley Birch also voiced a character named Chloe Price in the Life is Strange series.
Oh, Chloe? Okay. I never played Life is Strange. My brother did, and I know who that character is. Okay,
yeah, but that's like I said, another big name that got added. And yeah, it was moderately received. I mean, people enjoyed the new kind of character, enjoyed the story starting to pick up a little bit. Because once the game released, which I think I talk about at some point, the in-game content was something. There's nothing to do at the end of the game after you beat it.
You're speechless.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Very much. But yeah. Kate Bishop taking aim. That was the first DLC. And we haven't even got to talking about launch day yet.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that was happening before launch day, revealing stuff.
Yeah. Making promises before it happens.
Yeah.
Game's so promising.
So promising. So, how much is this promising, in quotes, game? Well, Marvel's Avengers released on PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC with 3 different versions of the game you could get. If you pre-ordered it, you got the beta access, legacy outfits, and legacy nameplates, which were like classic suits of the game, such as Captain America's World War II outfit, classic Hulk, Iron Man, Black Widow, Thor, Miss Marvel outfit. Then, you had the standard edition, which is just the base game, $60. Spillman, I'm assuming you bought Spillman. I'm going to say both of y'all bought this version, correct?
Yeah, I did.
No.
Oh,
okay. I waited until it was $10 and bought that.
Oh,
because after the beta, I was like, I'm not paying $60.
You're gonna wait. Well, you're gonna kill me here in a minute.
Oh no! Yeah. Don't tell me you bought the Earth's Mightiest edition.
You dang straight I did. I was proud of it. I was showing that thing off. I was showing off my Black Widow belt buckle. Dang straight I was.
You have buyer's remorse?
Yes.
The thing is, they had a huge deal happen not that long ago on the Marvel's Avengers website where you could buy the Earth's Mightiest edition for only $20.
$20, yeah.
Really? And I wanted to do it because I wanted that statue, but it didn't happen. It sold out immediately.
Next was the deluxe edition, which you got the base game, 3-day early access, Obsidian outfit pack, and Obsidian nameplates for the low price of $80. So $20 more, you got an outfit pack, 3 days early, and nameplates.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that's really worth it. I'll be honest with you.
Definitely not.
I mean, I would admit it's not worth it, but I would have still bought it if this was the biggest thing they had. But I was more of a sucker because now we have Earth's Mightiest Edition, where you got a 12-inch statue of Captain America, the exclusive steelbook, a Hulk bobblehead, a Mjolnir keychain, Black Widow belt buckle, an Avengers pin, and an Avengers group photo. Also, all the deluxe edition stuff for the wonderful price of $300.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought that sucker and I was so happy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Wait,
I can't believe I spent $60 on the game.
Wait, hold on. I'm making sure this thing was $600.
I mean,
$300. I mean, was it? Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm completely wrong. It was $200. So not
okay, you were wrong.
My bad.
So
I wrote it wrong.
100 less. You got 100 less.
My bad. I wrote it wrong. It was $200. I was like, hold on, that can't be because I had to check myself to check my pulse. I'm like, did I really spend $300? But yeah, $200. Yeah,
still $195 too expensive.
Yeah, I was proud of it though. I was like, hey, because dude, what you could say what you want. That Cap statue was cool. That Cap
it came with some awesome stuff for sure.
All of it was cool stuff because all of it was in-game stuff you saw in the game, like the Hulk bobbleheads in Bruce's RV. Mjolnir keychain. You see that during A-Day, they're like selling goodies. I mean, I have it on my keys right now.
Okay.
And the Avengers pin. The only thing that does not happen in the game is the group photo. And it's a photo of all the Avengers with Miss Marvel, and that does not happen in the game at all. And it's the funniest thing ever.
That's like the one you would think would be in the game the most.
Yeah, I know, because I was like, oh, cool, it's going to be this moment where the Avengers come together and they take a picture together. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in the game at all.
Let me ask you this.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Is the game in the game?
Is the game in the game? No.
Barely.
Barely. There's no game in this game. Don't you understand?
Yes. And then we still haven't got to launch day.
We're still not. I know.
And the next character reveal in quotations, is Black Panther. Let me talk about this. So the reveal happened in an unexpected way. There are rumors that he would be releasing, and we got it from the data leak and everything. And a war table was coming up. We knew it. And everyone was like, all right, Black Panther is getting revealed at this war table. It's going to happen. And they more than confirmed. They basically confirmed it.
Yeah.
Well, right around when this was going to happen, the passing of Chadwick Boseman happened. And so they went ahead and delayed the announcement. But the way they delayed it is to announce that what they originally had planned for this war table was not going to be happening. But in the background, there was a picture of the Black Panther. And so they really just still did the exact same thing, which is reveal that they're bringing Black Panther.
Mm-hmm. And, you just showed the Black Panther logo. It's like, it's going to happen. And so...
And this he was going to be the next hero come to the game, the logo in the war table background. During this war table, we also got more story info for Taking Aim, the K Bishop DLC. That was that. Well, but we'll get into more of Black Panther later on. And now we get to the one we're all waiting for, launch day.
Woo!
Let's go!
Yay!
I'm so excited.
And launch day came and many people were upset. Main complaints consisted of major game-breaking bugs, sometimes making the game unplayable, as well as the boring end game, as there was hardly anything to do after you beat the main campaign.
That was right.
So what type of game-breaking bugs happened?
Well, I have a list for you, good sir.
Oh, okay.
Hard crashes, character outfits not working as properly, such as remember those legacy outfits I talked about in the pre-order bonus?
Yeah.
Well, if you equipped Captain America's World War II outfit, his eyes would bulge out of his head,
Yep.
and his two front teeth would come out. It was beautiful. People getting corrupted saves, people losing their progress on characters. People losing their credits after they spent like money on getting them.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Pretty big one. That was a major one.
Yeah.
This game is so great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
No,
the
it was
best
wonderful. Game. Yeah. I gave it a 9 out of 10 on Spider-Man.
Did you experience any of these, Landon?
Okay. I'm sure I did experience the cap one I mentioned. The crash I did. There was this big one. This is a big one. A lot of people experienced this one. I did too. And I was pretty upset about it. It was a bug where it's like the big reveal of the game where they find out that Captain America's alive and he's up in space. It's like a major cutscene. But it was a problem where no character models would show up and the dialogue was muted. So the whole time you're seeing just this helicarrier with no people on it, just switching back and forth, and there's nothing there. And I'm confused. The next thing I know, I see Iron Man suiting up and going to space. I'm like, what happened? Like what just happened now? And so that was a big one. That was one. That was probably the worst one that happened to me. Thank God that credit thing didn't happen. But I think they did fix it later, where people who did spend their money got their credits back. But it's just not a good look.
Oh sure, yeah.
Take your money, you don't get jack. So like the people who bought the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much, yeah. But it was pretty bad.
I'm sorry, just like the most dramatic part of the game.
I know.
The big reveal and nothing works properly.
I know, yeah. It's the big moment of the game and it just doesn't work. So I mean, I had crashes on me, I don't know, multiplayer issues.
We just had a crash on the game not even like a week ago.
Not long ago, yeah. Yeah, Darren had a crash. Yeah, the game still has bugs, so it's I mean, they're still there, so
yeah. And they claimed in an interview,
it's a feature.
They claimed in an interview that that they didn't know these bugs were in the game. They thought it was ready to go when they sent it out. They realized, I'm like, how did you realize then?
How do you miss that?
This many
There's
issues?
no way. There's no way that you can.
Their playtesters obviously like lied to.
There was one playtester.
There's one.
It was me. I told him it was good. This game's awesome.
Played the first mission and he was like, "Yeah, it's okay."
Yeah, it was good.
It's pretty good.
I know. I mean, because you don't like, especially with multiplayer. If you played multiplayer, that's when the big bugs was going on.
Sure, I agree.
I mean, it was insane. Like people clipping through the ground. It was terrible.
2-1. All right. Next up, though, Operation Hawkeye Future Imperfect, the second operation, and also a next-gen upgrade. I'll go ahead and get into this real quick.
Yeah.
It released on March 18th, 2021, and was received moderately well, with many praising Hawkeye's addition to the game, but also criticizing the shortness and overall impact of the story. Brett Barton / Hawkeye was voiced by Giacomo Giannotti? Maybe. He's more best known for portraying Andrew DeLuca in Grey's Anatomy. Don't know. That's what the internet tells me. Yeah, I mean, Hawkeye, Future Imperfect, continues the story that the Kate Bishop DLC set up. I don't really have much to say about it. I forgot to write stuff for the next gen upgrade, which did happen along with that update.
No, I mean, nothing crazy happened.
It was a free upgrade as well.
Yeah, it was a free upgrade, 4K resolution, and there was like a performance mode. That was kind of it. I know in the 4K mode, like the resolution mode, it had like more destructible environments. Like with Hulk, if you like slam the ground, like rocks would come up around you.
Yeah, but it ultimately wasn't.
Yeah, well, really much.
Anything big? No,
kind of fell flat.
Yeah, and then the Hawkeye. Like I said, Hawkeye. I liked Hawkeye more than I did Kate.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know.
I understand.
There's a lot of other factors that were causing a lot of people, including me at points, to dislike the game. I many times on I don't know what the term is. I verbally explained that I did not enjoy things that were happening in the game. At one point to where I just didn't care about the game anymore. But Landon at one point did boycott it. I know that.
I did do that.
You boycotted it? What did you boycott the game for?
Oh, so in the game, there's these things called consumables. They're out for like, I would say, a month or so. And they were all like, oh yeah, these are, help you get some XP faster. Cause they did I think, was it this update where they nerfed how fast you leveled up and all that? Is that right?
No, it's not this one.
They throttled your progression?
Yeah, they did that.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they came out with these consumables. Oh yeah, you collect these in game and helps you level up faster, get you to play more. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'd say about a month after they started doing that, they started making it where you can't get them in game, you gotta buy them. And so basically pay to win. And
this is like one bad decision after another.
Yeah, and I was like, heck no. You told me we ain't doing a pay to win. And I stopped playing until they brought it out. So I stopped playing for I think they had that thing up for 2 months.
And they were like, oh no, there's a random guy in North Carolina who doesn't like what we're doing. We need to fix this pronto.
Our only player has stopped playing.
Well, but yeah. Operation Hawkeye featured perfect. While a lot of people did like it, a lot of people didn't. But it did get received better than the Kate DLC, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
It did, yeah.
Next up, Cosmic Cube. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. Here we go. Next up, Cosmic Cube released on June 2nd of 2021, which brought the next continuation of the story. Monica Rappuccini, after taking over AIM post-MODOK's death, has taken control of the Cosmic Cube and plans to rewrite reality and destroy the Avengers. This ultimately ended with a tease of Ultron at the end. It was received somewhat well, though many believed it was too lackluster and wouldn't help save the game. Ultron is never going to happen.
Yeah, it was in the files, and they teased at the end with a robot that kind of walked up to where the Cosmic Cube was being stored and kind of just like opened the vault and stared at it. And it was kind of like a thing, like it was they're being corrupted.
Yeah. And that never happened. This mission's okay. It was a good story mission, but again, people are just wanting more to it.
Yeah. I agree. And then the next story mission that came after that, even though I don't know if you call it a story mission, but it was the very first Omega level threat, which was Family Reunion, released July 27th, 2021. And it brought with it the very first major mission to help with leveling up to power level 150. In this, you take on the Super Adaptoid. The mission was received very well, or not very well, but received well, with many enjoying the new ways to play the game. This was a difficult mission, I remember, for a lot of people.
It was very online. It's like you couldn't do a single player. You had to do it online, which...
Yeah.
I kind of get what they were doing. They wanted players to interact more, and I'm cool with that. And is this where they did the power level increase, right? Or no, you just got...
No, it was just 150. No, yeah. The next... coming up in a minute is...
Yeah. The raid.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the raid here in just a minute. That was the OLT Family Reunion. Really wasn't anything big. Didn't expand upon the story too much.
Yeah.
There's something different to do post-in game, which we were taking what we could get at that point.
Yeah.
And then the big one. This is the biggest thing they did in the game. This next one.
Yeah.
Which was Black Panther War for Wakanda expansion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this before I get into it. I thoroughly enjoyed this DLC. I thought it was fun. It was like, Rick, it felt like what each DLC should have been.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting everyone to be as big as this, but this was the most welcoming one due to a whole new environment, whole new hub, 2 new villains, a character, good skins. I mean, it was a good start, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was the first major operation that came, which it released August 17th, 2021. They brought in a new hero, Black Panther, as well as a new region, Wakanda, and the outpost Bernazana. DLC was received very well, with many praising its expansion to the game story, as well as the uniqueness of Black Panther himself. T'Challa, such Black Panther, was voiced by Christopher Judge.
Well, that's the best part of it, I would say.
Yeah, the best part.
I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't play this expansion because I was not interested at all in playing it. So
yeah, I get you. Well, I mean, that's another thing we got to look into as well. I mean, people that were done with the game, it's like, well, what's the point? I mean, I might come back to play Black Panther for a bit, but that's kind of it,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and that opened the door to the next few things that happened in the Avengers timeline of development, I guess, or I don't know if development timeline, but lifespan.
Yeah.
At this point, the Discordant Sound Raid would come from that with Claw, and you want to get into that?
Yeah. Discordant Sound Raid, Spider-Man release, and gear revamp on November 30th. So this is 3 months from Black Panther, right? Wait, hold on. No, never mind. August, October, November. Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. November 30th, 2021, Spider-Man was released into the game for PlayStation players only, making it the only character available for just one platform. He would be voiced by Sean Chiplock. This angered many fans who felt this was unfair for this to happen just for one console. Also, this day they released the new power level through. Wait, hold up. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm reading this through my phone. Also, it's a bit harder. Sorry, just making sure getting this right. Sorry. Yeah, released Discordant Sound Raid brought a whole new way to level up to power level 175. The new power level. They're going on extensive, sometimes difficult run of the raid, often with people leaving in the middle, messing up the whole mission. They need to join in progress was very high. Also, during this holiday update, they did a gear revamp and added shipments. So shipments was one of the better things to add to this game. If not probably one of the best things they did, because I always loved doing them,
Yeah.
And I was always excited, like, oh, this week's shipment. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go out and get these things and buy some stuff. It was like a loot box but like you didn't pay for nothing, and every 100 was guaranteed. Yeah, you'll get the outfit,
The first one was the Wakandan armor Iron Man.
Yeah, which was a great skin,
Mm-hmm.
I said the only dud was maybe that one Cap outfit with the shirt.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they what constitutes a raid in Avengers? I never played any of them. Was it just a story
suffering.
mission that was like super difficult?
Pain, suffering, tears.
You gotta. It wasn't it's very difficult the first time around, especially if you don't know what you're doing. It was basically.
So it is unique. Is it like Destiny, where the raids were a completely separate like mission, or
it was a completely separate mission?
Okay, gotcha.
It was good. You have your 4 people, like your 4 players, and now you can't go through the entire raid without the 4 players. So if one of them leaves, you have to leave the whole thing.
You gotta leave the whole thing. It won't let you continue.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it
happened to us so many times, especially when you're right there at the end and you're like need that 4th person. All of a sudden they just leave, and you're like, we made it this far.
Yeah, and it's kind of very weird because it feels like, no, dude, the rest of the way we could have just done 3 and been okay. Like remember that time, Darien, me and you were playing? I don't know if we got this on stream or not, but like we were playing and we were at the part where you had to fight. Remember, it's like the final part where you're fighting Claw and you have to hide behind those pillars. One guy left and we were taking down Claw pretty easily. You don't need a 4th player after that point because you passed all the puzzles.
Yeah.
And so
also they had puzzles that required 4 players to complete.
Yeah, like you had to, like press this keypad. Like all 4 players had to press like a keypad at the same time. There's one like a one where you had to open doors and all that. And it was, I mean, the puzzles weren't bad or anything, but it's like you have to communicate a lot.
Yeah,
we really didn't though, because I mean we found ways to communicate without having to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like doing like force
like
hammer, somebody throw it over there, and then he'd call it back when it was time for us to press the buttons.
Yeah, I mean, there were simple ways you could have discussed it and fixed it.
Yeah.
Fixed it. Like the door had like a glitch to it. If you just walk over a button, it would open them and all that. So, I mean, the raids were okay, but it was very frustrating because it took way longer.
A long time. That thing takes about like an hour if you're.
I mean, raids are usually long. Normally, it's just for that, it's like you don't want to, and especially if it's like your fifth time trying to get this thing done, it ends up being like 4 hours.
Yeah,
there were no checkpoints in the raid.
No, I mean there was there was checkpoints, but like if a person left, everyone would have to restart because there was no join in progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have to go right back to the beginning and try it again. Hopefully your people don't leave.
Yeah,
gotcha.
and I always communicate.
So your best bet is to know people who want to do the raid with you and just invite them instead of matchmaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I mean, they made obviously.
Well, it was a hassle, not to mention.
Yeah.
Get like 4 people in there.
Yeah. It took a long time.
So it didn't have a system like Destiny had where there were like 3 or 4 checkpoints throughout the raid. So if you did have somebody drop, you could re-enter the raid at that point later.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, you had to restart from the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah, that matter.
We played the raid. I think we played the raid a total for like 20 times.
Yeah, we did a bunch of times because we were trying to get the power level
175.
175, so we could do, because I kept hearing like, the next big mission, you're going to have to be 175 to play it for Cloning Lab.
Yeah.
And okay. And me and Darren were on a rush to do it, and
it's so difficult to level up to 175. Yeah. You could do the raid once a week, maybe twice, and you'll get one better power level gear to level up.
If you're lucky. If you're
lucky, and then you'll have to wait another week to do it again. So it took so long.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the model that Destiny uses too. I keep comparing this to Destiny because it sounds just like it. When you run the raid, you had 3 loot drops throughout the raid, and you may have to run it 5 or 6 times to get the full set of gear for it. Yeah.
So, I mean, you would get gear in the middle of it, like by completing like the challenges. Like it was like, beat this section of the raid, you get a piece of gear. But half of it was those rocks or whatever. I can't remember what those are called specifically.
Those were artifacts?
Yeah, artifacts. Yeah. They look like rocks. Like, get out of here. The other one was gear pieces. And you can upgrade artifacts pretty easily than gear pieces. And you would only get 3.
Yeah.
You'd only get 3 throughout the thing. That would be like the 2 completing the challenges and then completing it. Yeah. But yeah, it was hard. The rate, and I'll tell you what, after doing Cloning Lab, it was not worth it.
Yeah. And going back real quick, touching on Spider-Man before we move on. I know you play your Spider-Man main, Landon, but Spider-Man, everyone fogged on Spider-Man when it came out. It was so that the swinging was terrible.
It
still is, and it was pretty bad. So I mean, Xbox really wasn't missing out in my opinion, but
wasn't missing out. Yeah, I'd agree. It wasn't missing out much. I don't like the voice actor they got for him. I get they try to get for like a that's like very nervous, but man, like it didn't look good. The only good thing that came out with Spider-Man though is that pretty much all of his skins were like really good, and I'd argue some of them were better than the Marvel Spider-Man game. Like the new War suit, I think is better than this game than it is in Marvel Spider-Man PS4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a hot take.
Well, the next thing to happen, which after this whole big update, the holiday update, they called it on November 30th, silence for, let's see, what felt like, I think, 6-7 months?
So from November 30th to June.
Yeah. Just about 7 months.
There was little updates here and there, but not much.
Yeah, there were bug fixes. And then during all that whole break, they reveal what's next, which is an Echo character on June 28th, 2022 in the form of Jane Foster / the Mighty Thor.
Yay.
An Echo. Yeah. They waste all that time on an Echo character.
Yeah.
That was, granted, somewhat different than Thor, but mostly not different. I mean, this is the first character update that brought along no story other than a motion comic and some audio tapes.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat. This is when the roadmap was gone too. They announced there would be no roadmaps.
Yeah, roadmap.
So this was like the red flag character. You knew something was up.
Yeah.
When it was really.
Yeah, because there's no story expansion, nothing. It was just a motion comic explaining her a little bit of backstory, and then.
I do want to point out the crazy part about the 2021 year is that was probably the best year of Marvel's Avengers.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because that content and everything, and because we had 3 new characters such as Hawkeye, Black Panther, and Spider-Man. No matter what you think of the characters, at least it was something.
Yeah.
We waited 7 months after the raid, and we just got Jane. And I like Jane. You know, I enjoyed playing her, but she didn't even come with like how cool would it have been if it came with like Asgard as a new biome?
That'd be cool.
Fighting frost giants.
Yeah, but
just
that's nothing like AIM, so they wouldn't do that. But so this in turn was received very poorly as people wanted more story and felt that Jane was too similar to Thor, an issue that was prevalent in the previous Hawkeye and Kate DLCs. People thinking Hawkeye and Kate were too similar. Mm-hmm. But Jane was voiced by Vera Fasal. I think it's how you say it.
Yeah.
I remember enjoying a little bit Mighty Thor. I thought she was different. I wasn't really a Thor player, so I can't really, I couldn't really compare.
My friend was a Thor player, and he said that Jane pretty much feels the same, but he feels like Jane feels less heavy than Thor.
Uh-huh.
She's more like faster with attacks than Thor is. That's what he said.
And that takes us to the next thing. You want to read that?
Yes. No Rest for the Wicked and Winter Soldier reveal. Okay. Sorry, I'm laughing because I read No Rest for the Wicked. I'm like, ugh. For every year from Miller, we knew that Bucky Barnes, a.k.a. the Winter Soldier, was Marvel's Avengers' next playable character, making the roster up to 12 for PlayStation and 11 for other consoles. Later on November 23rd, 2022, a reveal trailer for Winter Soldier and finally Cloning Lab OLT would be in the game on November 29th, with fans hoping this could possibly have saved the game, each day looking darker and darker.
Yeah, No Rest for the Wicked was a horrible mission.
That was
and
awesome. Did you even play it? I don't remember.
Yeah. We played it before a couple together a few times. You have your whole building up. It's not like, oh no, MODOK. She's got MODOK's body. She's going to bring him back to life. We got to stop this. And we go to fight Monica Rappaccini, the leader of AIM, and then she turns herself into a clone. And so there's 2 of her. You're fighting 2 of the exact same boss that have like one has poison powers and one has ice powers. You defeat one, and then you defeat the other, and then like.
That's it.
She just falls. She gets up, and then MODOK comes down, and they vanish. That was the end of the mission.
And a very awkward cutscene at that.
So, what do you guys think about the Winter Soldier then? Like,
Winter Soldier was
I never used him.
Winter Soldier was my favorite character, and still is my favorite character. The gunplay is really fun to use.
Mm-hmm. Winter Soldier, he was actually pretty. He was like probably the best Echo. I mean, granted, we only got 2.
He was partially an Echo. He had a lot of his own stuff. He also had a lot of. He was story related in Echo because it was parts of Captain America and parts of Black Widow in him because he was trained. He helped train people in the Red Room, and he was Captain America's sidekick in World War II. And so he's got those 2 like influences on him.
Sure.
Yeah.
And in the story of this game, him and Black Widow were romantically involved.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, like, at least with the Echo, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's like, oh, it's going to take a lot from Captain America and Black Widow. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. He worked with Captain America, so he's going to have similar fighting style. And, okay, he, is in Red Room, so he's going to fight like Black Widow. And all that was perfect. I mean, he's what an Echo character should be. 50% original, 50% taken from other aspects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was great. He was a good character.
And we mentioned real quick, we mentioned Miller, and he's the leaker. Well, he'll talk about him in just a minute. He leaks he was the only marketing this game was getting. I'm just telling you.
Oh, it felt like it. Yeah, that's true.
He was the one that was making everyone excited. And then next up, talk about the internal dev issues that were going on right here at the end. Behind the scenes of the game, things weren't going too great. The budget for the game was sinking, and the team was growing ever smaller as they were all being relocated to different games being done by the studio. Square Enix gave Crystal Dynamics complete control over the game, and eventually Embracer Group would buy Crystal Dynamics, but they had no interest in reviving Marvel's Avengers. The nail in the coffin for the game was when some past tweets from game design lead and spokesperson Brian Wagner resurfaced, causing him to lose his job, and he ultimately would not be replaced.
Yeah, that was like, I was all like, oh god, because it felt like we were actually kind of maybe getting somewhere. Like, No Rest for the Wicked wasn't good, but Winter Soldier looked very promising.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, cool.
Red flag number 20. People start losing their jobs, and they're not being replaced. I mean,
all that was going on, and then they decide to release the final OLT and Hero update, which was on November 29th, 2022. And it wasn't known at the time that it was going to be the last, which was cloning Lab in the release of Winter Soldier. This update brought along a power level cap of 185, so they increased that, along with a new way to play it, which consisted of defeating MODOK once again and retrieving Bucky Barnes from the hands of AIM. The update was received poorly as the OLT was terrible and bug-ridden, and many criticized Winter Soldier for the reused moves. Winter Soldier would be voiced by Scott Porter.
Which he's voiced Winter Soldier, and I know he did it in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and I believe in other projects like the Lego games as well.
Yeah, he's done other things too. He's voiced a lot of superheroes. I know that.
Yeah.
So was the cloning lab just another biome, or
no, it was a mission?
It was a mission that they promised since day one.
Yep. And it was terrible.
It was supposed to be
this was supposed to be like the ultimate
end of AIM. This was supposed to be and it's like everybody's like, horrible. Finally it's gonna be a good resolution to finally see AIM take down.
Scott Porter, real quick, voiced Heimdall in God of War Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
And he's voicing the Flash in Suicide Squad game.
Okay. So he's a lot of AAA and
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 he voiced Star-Lord and Cyclops.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't know he did those.
Yeah. Continue on.
But like, it's supposed to be the end of AIM, and I mentioned this earlier. I don't remember if I mentioned on here. We were talking private about it, but it was awful because you take down MODOK and he passes out in his chair, and that's it. And it's all like, and it doesn't even feel like you even took down AIM.
Yeah.
And that's the worst mission of the game.
It is. And to wait 3 years to get that was, like I said, unacceptable. It was just it was horrible.
A slap in the face.
Yeah, and this is when we really knew something was up with this game. And then got an article. News came out that someone was saying that Miller was writing an article and it wasn't going to be good.
And I was not aware. I see a tweet by Miller saying, writing something huge right now. And I'm all like, you
I have the article up right here. I'm going to read through some of it. Marvel's Avengers has never had a particularly easy time in the press. The ill-fated license looter from Tomb Raider developer Crystal Dynamics had seen headlines ranging from Marvel's Avengers no longer has a roadmap coming to Marvel's Avengers update leaks your IP address. Since launching back in September 2020, the strength of the Marvel brand did little to turn the tides in Avengers' favor, and criticism that arose during the title's closed beta continued on throughout its lifespan, namely a lack of content, an overabundance of game-breaking bugs, and a community left feeling abandoned by the developer's sparse communications. 2023, last December, they revealed that the end was in sight and that all preparations are being made to sunset the title in 2023, but it seems that the situation was evolved. Talk about Brian Wagner's departure and his unearthed racist tweets, and Crystal Dynamics said he will no longer be a studio spokesperson or communicating with studio projects. He removed all mention of Avengers from his social profiles, and news came out that he will not be replaced on the increasingly small team of developers still working on Avengers, with most already doing double duty on one of the studio's other projects. The remaining talent are expected to be moved full-time to Crystal Dynamics' new Tomb Raider title under Amazon Games, which is in full-scale development and the subject of mounting pressure in the lead-up to a reveal later this year. It says that their exit strategy include the announcement could come as early as next week about them ceasing development when this was made. Their exit strategy includes a series of changes to the game's various systems, and namely a removal of artificial time gating and an overhaul to the available cosmetic transactions. The game will remain available for sale digitally until at least September, and the efforts are being made to keep the game playable for existing owners as long as possible. And the final regularly scheduled update is an upgrade to player traversal. It'll make Hulk jump higher and America run faster and all that. Shows all the stuff they've canceled. Apparently, it says several characters in the pipeline, including She-Hulk and Captain Marvel. These two were part of an earlier internal content release schedule that was updated under Wagner's leadership to include heroes like Jane Foster, Shuri, and Ironheart, which could be accomplished on a lower budget by repurposing existing assets. Which I'll be one to say that we didn't want any of those.
Yeah,
look at that list of characters.
Yeah,
like it blows my mind they would pick Ironheart over War Machine. That blows.
Yeah, and it also talks about Joint in Progress was in the works, but it's not happening. Ultron not happening. Patrol Mode not happening. And then 2 days later, Marvel's Avengers posts an article.
No, it was the same day.
It was the same day? Are you sure that it was a day later?
I'm sure it was the same day.
Yeah, because didn't they release it earlier because somebody had already leaked it?
Yeah,
that article came out and everybody's talking about it. Like, yo, is this happening? Hold up, what's going on?
Yeah, and then they put out their thing. Okay.
It was like 3 hours later. Of course, in Avengers Way, the website is bugged and did not.
The website was bugged, so you couldn't get into it. When I was like, of course.
Red flag 27.
What a way to go out.
And they named this article "Final Update on the Future of Marvel's Avengers." And it said, to our amazing community, after 2.5 years introducing 12 of Earth's mightiest heroes, following update 2.8 on March 31st, 2023, we will no longer add new content or features to Marvel's Avengers. All official support for the game will end on September 30th, 2023. Even after official support ceases on September 30th, both single and multiplayer gameplay will continue to be available. They talk about the Winter Soldier, which is the last new content to be added to the game. No new cosmetics are coming to the marketplace, and all final balance updates will occur in update 2.8. And it talks about if you have any credits left over, they'll turn them into different resources for you to use the game. As of our show of appreciation for our community, starting March 31st, we'll make all of the game's marketplace, challenge card, and shipment cosmetic content available to all players for free. Every single outfit, takedown, emote, and nameplate from the marketplace, challenge cards, and shipments will be free for all players from this date onward if you own a copy of the game. Gifting the full library of marketplace cosmetic content is a way to thank our community by letting everyone experience the breadth and depth of the content in Marvel's Avengers. We know this is disappointing news as everyone in our community has such a connection to these characters and their stories. We're so grateful that you came on this adventure with us. Your excitement for Marvel's Avengers, from your epic photo mode shots to your threads theorizing who our next heroes would be, to your Twitch streams, has played a large part in bringing this game to life. We hope you continue to play and enjoy Marvel's Avengers. We can't thank you enough for your support and for being part of the team.
So, Landon, I have one question.
What's that question?
How do you feel about them just giving away everything for free?
After I spent probably $500 on this game. I mean, well, I honestly think it's probably a good thing to do. I know me and probably other guys who invested a lot in this game are really kicking themselves right now, but I like the skins and I got them, and that's simple as that. I could have predicted that. Yeah. I probably could have, knowing what was coming out at the time. The game was gearing to die out, but I think it's a good thing to end off for, who knows, maybe with it being people playing in free outfits, maybe people will be like, I'll try it out now, and maybe it can grow maybe a new fan base, and maybe we can get
wishful thinking.
I'm still in fantasy land, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But I think fair enough. I think it's a good choice to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like Zoom is getting ready to tell us to get the heck out of here. So I guess we can go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. They'll have one last funeral video in September to send away the game. That was the history of Marvel's Avengers.
I do want to say one thing, though. In the description below, we will have a petition to sign for Marvel's Avengers 2 to happen, in case you are passionate like us about it and want to see this game or a sequel possibly with, that's even better, where they learn from their mistakes and make a better game. So...
yeah, and I guess with that, we can go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Spillman, thank you for joining us for this episode. Always a pleasure having you in here to give your opinions.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And that being said, we're going to get out of here. And we'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.
See ya.